Hello and welcome to another edition of In Between Pages with James Lott Jr. I'm James Lott Jr. and in this kind of COVID-19 world of interviewing, as you know, I do a lot of interviews. I've done a bunch of them for the last 2 months. People are actually doing reunions, and people from shows and movies are getting together and saying hi to each other and talking about what they did on the shows and the things they were on. And so we decided to put one together, one of my favorite series out there. And they know it's my favorite series. I have promoted this thing. I've been behind it the whole time. And it's the Chronicles of Jessica Wu. And so we have some of the folks who are very much involved in the film and in the film. And so I'm going to start introducing them from how I see them. I don't know, you guys see them on the screen right now, but I'm going to start with this way. So she's in the film chorus, and she's Aria Song. Hi, Aria Song.
How's it going?
Good, with the panda. And then on the other side of me, I feel like it's the Brady Bunch. On the other side of me, he was in the film too, very funny, Billy McCartney.
That's me. Hello, hello.
And now I'm going to go down. I'm going to go straight down below me. And I mean, it's Jessica Wu herself in the film, and she's just amazing. Helena-Alexis Seymour. Anybody with two first names, I'm all in. And then the love of my life below her. I mean, she can do no wrong at all, and does a mean accent. My girl, Jasmine Hester.
Hello, hello.
Then we go over up to the right, to the side. He's like my little brother, cousin, uncle, daddy, whatever. I don't know what he is. He's all these things. He's my buddy, one of my biggest champions. You know, I'm his too, Mr. Brandon Larkins.
Hey, good to see
you.
Thank you for having us.
And the reason we're here on the other side of Helena-Alexis, the reason we are all here together, the reason why we're even talking, the reason why we're in the same Zoom meeting, the man, the myth, the legend, the creator, best dad on earth, Zane Hubbard.
Hey, thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to start with, because I've asked everybody the same question when I first do these interviews. I've done like 100 now at this point, I guess. I'm going to start with Aria first. How are you doing during this weird pandemic time?
I don't know. It's been kind of all over the place. Some days are easier than others. But overall, I would say that mentally, I'm trying to just utilize the best of this time and be productive and do a lot of introspection, you know, shifting priorities, setting my mindset straight so that whenever this is over, I can just, you know, jump right in. But I will say that there are definitely moments where I feel very challenged, and I don't know. I'm trying to learn how to accept things and just be aware and very self-aware and take things as they come and allow them to be what they are instead of always kind of challenging it and trying to figure out what's right and wrong. But it's been really good because just learning, picking up a lot of hobbies. I have like this, oh, you can't see it right now.
I see it now, but yeah.
This Chinese guzheng that I brought back from my parents. It's like traditional instrument I've been wanting to learn. I'm learning Japanese, practicing my Korean still. I want to learn dance. So there's all these things that I've been wanting to pick up. So this is like the prime time to just indulge yourself in all your hobbies and passions.
Well, you're very smart because it's that whole thing of stop trying to fight against things. Swimming against stream, you just get tired.
Yeah.
Your arms get tired. You don't go upstream, you just get tired. You're trying to go against the grain. You can't do that. So very smart of you.
Totally. Thank you.
Like that. Now, Billy McCartney, how have you been doing over there?
I mean, ups and downs. It's been weird. But so probably like the first month or so, I was just like, well, this will be over soon, you know, delusional. But I've done a lot of stand-up comedy shows on Zoom, which has been a lot of fun, actually. It's been a blast. I've got one tonight, which will be cool. Yeah. And a month before, basically, when everything locked down, we moved to a new apartment. And so, honestly, we got a lot of time. Like, the apartment's all set up. We ordered all the, like, everything's nice, which we had a lot of time to do that. I just recently rewrote a short film I had written a while back, and I filmed it yesterday in my bathroom. It's very goofy.
Oh, okay.
I'm pumped for that. And then on top of everything, just like an unhealthy amount of video games. Like me at middle school level.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I have to ask you, how do you do stand-up online?
So I've done a couple shows, and for the most part, the showrunners have really figured out how to do it. They'll take Zoom and they'll stream this live on like Instagram Live or YouTube, or some of them they sell tickets. so you can get into the Zoom meeting. And then I just push this desk back a little bit, so I make my drag queens my backdrop. Yes. And then I'll just do it like a normal show. It's just, you have to know that there's an audience there, because there's like no laughter, there's no response, there's no give and take. Right. Which I people have struggled with, but I've had a blast with it. And I'll do goofy things because I'm in my home. Like I have a Star Wars joke, and I have like a big lightsaber, and I hold the lightsaber upside down so it looks like a microphone. And then when I get to the Star Wars joke, I like turn it on and light it up.
Nice.
So I've been able to like goof off with it, which has been a good time.
A Star Wars joke. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so like Star Wars joke.
It's about, well, I mean, it's really a joke about queer representation in the media, but I use Star Wars to frame.
You're fancy. Okay, next. That's it. You're all fancy. That's too much for me. No, just kidding. I love it. I know. I love it. I love it. I'm just trying to be funny. Zane, how have you been doing?
Sorry, me?
Zane. Sorry, Zane.
Okay. I didn't hear you.
Going this way. I'm left-handed. I'm sorry. I'm going left to right. I can't help it.
I'm doing great, man. I'm taking everything in stride. Writing a lot, doing a lot of writing. Like Billy and Jazz. I've been on my PlayStation 4 like crazy. Just trying to keep a little sanity. With the kids being home too. That's kind of it's kind of rough too. Homeschooling and everything. And by the way, teachers out there, God bless you. I don't know how you do it. I'm telling you. And but overall, things are good, man. I'm looking. I feel like I see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm still being a little cautious right now until things kind of settle down. But I'm really excited to start filming again.
Yeah, good. Helena-Alexis, how are you doing during this time period, girl?
I'm doing great. I'm loving this time. I feel like the only one that's like pumped about it. I love that the world shut down. Everyone needed a break, and everyone just needed time to like appreciate the little things like family and nature and eating at home and going inwards, because we don't ever do that for ourselves, or at least a lot of us don't. So to like just be stuck with yourself, I feel like we're gonna come out of this like so much more self-aware and so much more compassionate, and just like create such better art. Like I'm so pumped for the art that's gonna come out from this, and like the independent films and the independent shows. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm so tired of looking at the same old shows, the same old celebrities, reality shows, Instagram stars. I hope that all dies. I just want pure art, like authentic art that's really good.
Amen to that.
I met someone that's a writer, and we're like writing stuff and like creating podcasts and trying to like make our little niche. So hopefully like we come up with some dope things, and hopefully you guys do. So when the door is open, it's like go time.
Yep.
I like that. I'm part of a new soap opera we're putting together, and Brandon is one part of the cast members. So we got Brandon on. So that these kids came to me with this idea of taking like old radio soaps, put them on a podcast, but we're going to create a whole new soap.
Oh.
And it's going to be representing everybody. I mean, all kinds of people are going to be involved. And so they asked Brandon to do a role on the show. So I'm the executive producer. I mean, I let them do all the hard work. But you're right. It's like it's time to create stuff that's not just the normal stuff we see all the time. I want to see me represented on screen. Not necessarily myself, but me represented in front of me. And I'm sure all of you want to see yourselves represented, reflected on screen. I'm done. I'm so much more militant these days because I'm old now. I'm like, I'm tired of just taking it. I want to see all you guys produce and do things that are just like amazing and just, great representation of everything. That's what I want to see. Brandon Larkins, you're working still though. So how are you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm doing well. Many of you all out there know that I work with kids in a residential treatment center or group home setting. So I'm pretty much with my kids 6 days out of the week. But also in that though, I've been catching up on a lot of James Lott interviews. But seriously, it is something refreshing to know the relationship that you have, Jay, with CBS and your celebrity friends and all that, and know that they're going some of the same things that we're going through right now. They're at home, but they're still spending a whole lot of time with their families. They're working on side businesses and things like that. So I've really been inspired by a lot of your interviews right now. And I tune into you pretty much every week because that's still motivating. It's still inspiring for me. That also being said, I too am writing. I'm working on my pilot script right now, a family-style themed sitcom, more so geared towards Disney or Nickelodeon. That's going pretty well. And you know what? Also, I'm talking to my parents a whole lot. You know, and it's one of those things where, man, I miss them. You know what I mean? I really miss my mom and my dad. You know, so I'm talking to them a whole lot more, and just making sure that they're okay and letting them know how much I love them and that, you know, I'm still their son. I'm 3,000 miles away and I can't hop on the plane and go see them, but hey, your baby boy is still thinking about you. So that's what I've been doing a lot lately.
You're gonna make me cry all of a sudden. You know I cry.
No.
Y'all teary-eyed. Y'all teary-eyed. You make me cry. God
Gosh.
dang it. Jasmine. I'm moving on from him. Jasmine Hester, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm with I was one of the few people that wasn't like thrown off by having the whole stay-at-home order. I'm naturally a homebody, so I was like celebrating, like, oh, I get to be inside and I don't have to be bothered and I can just be in my own space. But I have picked up a few hobbies. I'm gardening now, and I've got to transplant my indoor plants outdoors, and they're doing good. I haven't killed them, so I'm happy. And I have little hummingbird feeders and stuff. Like, I'm outside a lot now, like, well, in my backyard, not world, but yeah, it's just kind of, I guess, keeping myself grounded. And I'm thankful that there's still like tons of auditions and things to submit, having a new game plan with my management and just enjoying it. There's a lot of stuff I'm learning about myself. Like, I thought I spent a lot of time by myself already, but in this particular situation, I feel like I'm learning more about what I really want, what I really desire, and like what I no longer want to deal with or what no longer serves me anymore. So it's interesting. It has been interesting. Like Aria said, there's highs and there's definitely lows, but for the most part, I'm good. If there's a low, I'm on my video games. And
I forgot to ask Billy, so what is the name of your film?
Zipper Club.
Zip It Club. Okay.
Zipper Club, which is an old gay euphemism for a bathhouse.
We learn something new every day.
And I'm old and gay, and I never heard that before.
I Googled it. It's fine. I was looking for titles. I think it's a 70s euphemism, and I was like, that's hilarious. We're doing it.
And you shot it it's all entirely in your bathroom?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I'm very curious. very, very, very curious. Like, what this is gonna turn out.
It's basically just me psyching myself up in the mirror to go.
Oh, I already know that's hilarious.
In the Zipper Club.
Oh, very interesting.
That's gonna be fun.
I like that. But you guys, because this whole thing, obviously, it's a great point that Billy's kind of bringing up, and with Zane, this, and Brandon's another series. You guys have all done another series. That this is something that, you know, putting together, doing a film, you have a phone or a camera, you can do that. There's no excuse, kind of. I love those doggies. There's no excuse to not do something or try it out, right? I mean, there's no excuse, right, Zane? That's the whole thing. It's like, just, you know, write something, put it together, and
all this time we have a lot of free time, so we might as well tap into that creative spirit that we have and do something with what we got, you know. Jasmine dog is
this is real life, kids. This is real life,
right?
This is Zoom life. My hair's not done. This is Zoom life. Trust me. Get me shaved by now. Anyway, saying as you're saying.
Yeah. No, just being able to tap into that creative gene, that spirit you have to just do something. And even if you're not creative, just like you said, you could probably go outside, maybe take a walk, you know, within space of everyone, maybe do some gardening or something. I don't know. But just it's a great time to just like Helena says, just to reflect and kind of look into yourself and find the better version of you.
One thing I like about this series, this particular series, it's very diverse casting. I like. I mean, we get to see Asian American, we get to see Black American, we get to see, you know, gay American, we get to see everything. Long hair, short hair. But I mean, seriously, that's one of the things I like about this series. How important was that to you guys, all you producers? How important was that to you guys when you were doing this series? Anybody can speak to it. Anyone can speak to it.
You can go. Okay. Well, I'll just say, for me, I wanted representation. I wanted representation across the board. I felt like you see the same thing over and over again all the time, and I just felt like the chemistry that we all have, it's just great. I mean, we were like family on set, and I just remember the last day of shooting. It was a Sunday night. We're on the rooftop, and it just was like it's all coming to an end. It's just like, oh man, we felt like family. I don't know. It was just the chemistry was great.
We are family.
We are family.
We are family. I guess I could see it when you guys were coming on. Aria, so because I haven't talked to you really about your role, because I talked to somebody else about their roles and stuff. How was this film? How was this series for you, girl, when you're doing this? Because you are a villain. I mean, you're not really nice.
Yeah, but at the same time, every time, like, I love playing villains because they're so fun. There's so much you can do with them, and I feel it's limitless because there's room to play. But I always approach any role with like humanness, and I want to try to figure out what is driving her actions, like what are her intentions, what made her this way. And obviously, to me, the character Kenja isn't a villain. She's just doing what's right by her, perspective. So yeah, I love trying to dive into a villainous character and really play that front, but at the same time find something to connect with that also anybody can relate with, any like vulnerabilities or weaknesses or things that we experience in our life that cause us to become something that is justified in our viewpoint but may not be perceived as such from the outsider's perspective.
Do you have to like her to play her?
I don't know. Yeah, I would say you have to at least empathize and sympathize and understand. But yeah, I mean, we all in like real life find a way to like ourselves, right? Even if it doesn't seem right from, I guess, like a black and white perspective. Because if we don't like ourselves, it'd be hard to live with ourselves.
Right. Right.
So I do think, I mean, I liked her. So yeah. Yeah, I do think that for me personally, I did like her. And I loved playing her. It was so fun.
I was gonna say, because you're playing a character who, may not be the nicest. So when you're playing her, you gotta find all those layers because you're gonna step into her body, so to speak, and bring her to life. Bring their words to life.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, but I think she was actually a really dynamic character. There was a lot going on behind with like Sector 9, her father, and this, sister that isn't related by blood, but yet has the same last name. Yeah, there was a lot to play with. So thank you, Zane. and then the martial arts was super fun too.
I was going to ask you, because I asked the others, how was it for you?
It was amazing. I mean, we spent so much time together rehearsing, and there was a lot of dedication on everyone's part. Like, we all put our heart and soul into the rehearsals, the learning of the choreography, and we did put a lot of time into rehearsing, which was amazing because once we got on set, it was like second nature. We didn't have to question anything, and we felt safe. And I love action. Like, that is my bread and butter. So being able to do that with a dynamic role was kind of the synthesis of two of my favorite things.
Good. I actually do like the one thing saying about this story is that they are kind of sisters, kind of. It's a very interesting, but they're not by blood, and there's a whole bunch of stuff between them. So I like that part of the story.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into that later, hopefully in this feature film that I'm working on, called Equation. And like Aria said, Kenja is actually she's not a bad person. She's just misunderstood. And I think that
it's just drawn that way. That's all.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's drawn that way. Sorry,
you'll see. She's kind of looked upon as a freedom fighter once she took down Sector 9. A lot of the characters who have powers begin to come from the shadows and show who they are. So it's going to be really, really good thing. I cannot wait.
So more Sector 9 stuff, because we're like,
Oh, absolutely.
like what went on there? It's like some stuff went on down back there. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
like seriously,
Yeah.
everybody's angry and upset, so something happened.
Yeah, everybody has a backstory. I love it. All the characters, they all have a backstory and something to add to it. They all can have their own show or movie. That's why I created it. So
Oh, you have a bunch of spinoffs. I want to see a Billy spinoff. I want to see him do a spinoff with him. You could do like a comedy spinoff. Exactly. Yeah. Totally. Now, Brandon, so how would you describe to people your character? Like, what would be the words you would use to describe your character in the series?
Stax Luger, he's the anti-hero. He's not good. He's not bad. He's pretty much in his own world. He is a man who, unfortunately, his wife was murdered and his son was taken from him. And he just wants to seek that type of justice for his wife. And that's pretty much with Stax. I would say that if anything, if it was any character that he did identify with in the Chronicles of Jessica Wu, would probably be Kenja Wu. It's one of those things where he likes her. Maybe she's a little bit manipulative of him sometimes towards him, but he's okay with that though, because he needs to seek a confirmation about his wife and how he became Sector 9. So he's just the anti-hero. I see him as the guy who lives in Montana in the woods. He's not bothering anybody right about now. He doesn't care to bother anybody right now. He doesn't want to date anybody right now. He wants to be left alone, and he wants justice for his wife. That's it for him. That's it. He's nothing cool at all. He's just a guy who wants to seek justice for his wife's death. That's how I look at him.
And yeah, and Jasmine, your character kind of moves around. Like you kind of are involved in so many different sides. I mean, everybody up here, you're involved with all of them up here on some level. So what was that like for you, to play a role like that? You're basically intermingling with all the different sides.
I think it was a lot of fun because I think it kind of challenged me because each person brings out a different part of my character Sarah. Like I feel like, with Aria you see like Nickel, or when she's with Sector 9 you see Nickel. When you see her with Jessica and Dennis, she's Sarah. And so it was fun to see the differences, and plus all of them are amazing actors, so they always give you something to feed off of, or it was like a playground on set all the time. So it was a lot of fun.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
I was say, of all these actors, which one do you have a hard time keeping a straight face with the most?
I don't know. Hard time having a face.
Like any of them make you laugh, like when in between scenes and stuff, or any of them that you just
probably would be Billy.
Yeah.
I think Billy is hilarious. I think I have I posted a picture of us where it's a still, and I'm like, this is the one time we were serious on set, like the one time. Here you go. But yeah, I think Billy, because he's just he's a firecracker, and you never know what you're gonna get with him, and that's why we love him. So.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Billy, respond to that, Billy.
Well, thank you. It's very nice. I do know when we filmed this last season, it was nice to return to set, and then very quickly I was encouraged to just improv. And I was like, okay.
Bar scene.
I know the final scene of season 2, which is the 3 of us at the bar.
Oh,
that take is probably the only take that works.
Oh, wow.
The one you see, because I would start talking, and someone would break or I would break, and I was like, I'm so sorry, we have to make this work.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Brilliant. Very brilliant. Very brilliant.
It really was.
I would say, but Billy, you can do drama. I mean, that's the whole point, right? I mean,
oh, yeah.
I
went to college. I have a degree. I studied Shakespeare in London. Gosh darn it.
I love it. But that's the point. People can sometimes see you as a certain way, and you're like, yeah. I'm an actor. I can do whatever you tell me to do, so to speak. Right? I love that. Helena-Alexis, you are the title character. You're the title character of the show. So now that it's been out for a while, when you look back on the experience, what do you see these days when you look back? Like we're sitting here right now and talking about this whole show and everything. What do you see back in that experience?
I'm so grateful. I was literally talking to someone from Canada yesterday on Zoom that I've never met before, but it was this agency meeting, my Canadian agency. And he's like, hey, you're Jessica Wu. I watched it because my girlfriend has autism and she like was looking for this. I was like, whoa, like how? That's so amazing. So, and then we have this meetup today. So it was like synchronicity. So I love that people are still looking for it, watching it, finding it on their own. It's so amazing to still see people that are like so interested in this show. And I look back on it and I'm just so grateful that I was part of such a show and to be a representation of like someone on the autism spectrum who's also Black, who's also female, and who's strong and is a superhero and has all these strengths as well, like using all of what we would think is like a weakness, but as a strength. So I love it. And I watched actually Aria and I's final fight scene like a couple days ago just to look. I'm like, that was so fun. Like, this is awesome. It was such a great time. I love all you guys.
Well, I want to tell you, you are brilliant in this series. You know, you really are. I mean, you seriously are so good in it. Because I know you outside of it. I mean, as you know, just a regular actress, woman, whatever. And then to see you transform into her on screen, it's so good. Like, it's so good. I I know who you were before this, and now I can't forget you. I mean, that's literally that's really a good thing. It's like now I want to see what else she does. Like, now I want to see what else she's doing because you were so good in this series. I have a friend. Her name is Vanessa Antoine. She's Black Canadian actress. She was on General Hospital for years, but now she's the first Black female Canadian actress to have her own show in Canada, a drama called Digstown.
It's called Digstown?
Digstown.
I haven't been in Canada in like a year, so I'm gonna
look for it. She's a wonderful person, but for me again, it's like another Black woman playing something that anybody that Aria could play it, and so I mean, it doesn't matter what race, but it's kind of like give chances to actresses to just play a role. Why we have to always go for the defaults? Like, why can't we just go and say, okay, well, let me try everybody and see what happens? And this doesn't make it an Asian show all of a sudden because there's an Asian lead, or a Black show because there's a Black lead. It's like, or even a gay person, they can play straight, they can play this, they can play that. I have a friend, Jason Stewart, who's a gay comedian here, and I don't know if you know him, Billy. He played a slave owner in Birth of a Nation. He played a straight, hetero 1830s slave owner and sold it. And it's like, but you said because they gave him a chance. I just said, for actors. Jason Stewart, he's been around for like 30 years. He's a pioneer in the gay comedian, stand-up comedian scene and acting scene. But he plays this, he's like an evil villain in this thing. And that's why I like that Zane was like, I'm gonna cast somebody that can represent his daughter could look up to, and other Black women can see and say, yeah, you can play anything. Like, that's not even like, who cares? You can play anything. So very important.
Very.
I think it's very important. And so Zane, I was going to ask you. So, your daughter saw the whole series. Has she seen the whole thing?
My son has. My daughter just likes the fighting scenes, but
my kind of girl. My kind of girl.
To watch that fight hospital scene a million times, but yeah, my son, he's really into Justice League and superheroes now. So he really likes. Of course, he likes Kinja. Loves Kinja. But
of course.
But he also he's making his own films with his iPhone now. So it has no service on it. It just has a camera. But he gets his stuffed animals and stuff, and he's filming stuff and he sees me do it, and I'm honored by that.
That's very cool.
Please,
it's really sweet.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old.
Okay, when I was 8 years old, I was playing with Tonka trucks and roller skating in Venice. I mean, I wasn't making films. I mean, like, that's crazy to me. That's amazing. That's amazing. Good for him. He's gonna be a future filmmaker.
Yes.
Yeah. Or maker or something. Whatever was going on there. I love that. And so, Jasmine, how's that accent? How's that accent, girl?
You can still hear it if you want to hear it. I always have it. It'll never leave. You know what's funny though? I actually I have like a little group chat on Instagram, and one of the girls, she was like, wow, like I had no idea you were like British. Like this whole time I thought you were like American. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, I saw like all this stuff on your page. Like, you're British. Like, that's just so crazy. And I felt bad that I had to like no, I'm just, I'm from San Diego. Like, that's just, she's like, well, I had no idea. Like, I really thought, like, you're not from here. I was like, oh, well, I don't know if I disappointed or not.
Have you also done other roles in the accent too?
I had, what's funny is, like, I started off, I just wanted to see if it could pass. So me and my friends would write roles specifically where I could use the accent. And then other productions would start hearing it and they're like, oh, you have to use that now. You're from the UK. And I'm like, okay. That's what happened with this production.
Yeah,
so
it sure was. Yeah.
that's just, I'm moving on to, I found out that I have some, like my family tree on one side goes through Barbados.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to figure out a like island Caribbean like accent. I'm working on that one, but that one's a little more, that one's tough.
I've been to Barbados. I've been to Barbados, and I've been to Jamestown. It's really crazy because I hadn't been to Europe yet. I hadn't been to England yet or whatever. So when I went there, they're very British. So I got in the car, and I'm on the left side of the car, but the steering was on the right side of the car, and we're driving on the left side of the street. It was the scariest thing. I was like, oh my God, the car's coming out. I was not coming out. It was just the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest
Oh my God.
I'll never forget that. My first time years ago. I was like, that's kind of
I need to go. It's on my list.
It's actually a very colorful place. I love all of it because it's half Caribbean, half British. So it's very proper with all the Caribbean colors. I mean, all the buildings are beautifully, all these colors, and all their first names are O'Neill and Wentworth, that kind of stuff, But they're like
I love it.
we are, but they're darker than we are. It's like it's crazy. I love it. Love that. I love the Eastern Caribbean. So it's very nice.
I need to go.
Need to go. Well, we can't go yet, but yeah, when we go back in.
I know.
So, I mean, so now you guys you did this series a while back, and you've had a chance to kind of live in it and live with it. What are some of the things you've heard from people when they see your part in the series? What are some of the things people say to you? Anybody can open up.
I'll take that here. For me, I've gotten such great feedback. When we talk about Jessica Wu, we push Aria, Helena, and Jazz. It is girl power to the billionth power. Okay. Yes. So now we get so much feedback. Oh my gosh, I love those girls. I love their characters. I love their drive. I love their determination. I love how they didn't give up. And it's one of those things like when Zane said, when we were trying to cast, make a more diverse cast of not just having the same faces and the same names that you see, it gives hope and it gives inspirations, especially to the female genre right now. I can't begin to tell you how many times Zane and I, we get approached. Oh my gosh, could I please be in Jessica Wu? Oh my gosh, I just love what Kendra was doing. Oh my gosh, I love how Sarah's eyes lit up. And it makes it easier, especially for me when I do media and press rounds, to do these interviews because I plug them so much because they were such great acts to work with. And I'll let Zane tell you all that our viewership has gone up in the UK.
Yeah.
Recently. Wow. You want to talk about that, Zane? And something that a lot of people don't know yet, because we're still promoting the show. We're still promoting it.
Yeah, absolutely. On Amazon during this whole pandemic, sorry for the phone, but the numbers have just increased in the UK, and I'm like, this is crazy. I love it, and of course here too. But it just skyrocketed within these past 2 months, and I'm like, please keep watching.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I want them to embrace me.
They're embracing you because you're UK. But the thing is, this goes out to everybody in the world. I mean, basically it goes out. I mean, it's on a big platform, Amazon. It's on there, so you can watch it. And you never know who's going to actually watch it. And you never know how word of mouth may be like, there's a show. Oh, my goodness. And then all of a sudden, everybody in the city's watching. I mean, you just never know. That's the beautiful thing about our world right now. We're so big, yet we're so small.
Yeah.
Right.
Big and small. Big and small.
I know in San Diego, I was spending a lot of time in San Diego a little after the series had aired, and there was this little boy. I had told his mom about the series because he's on the autistic spectrum, and he's like 9 or 10 years old. And then I ran into him again, and he was just so happy. And the mom, she was like tearing up because she's like, you should have just saw his face when he was watching the series. And he was like, where's the next episode? What are we doing? Like, are you coming back? Like, he was really excited about it. And just to see him like light up and like, you knew it's one of those situations where like representation definitely matters. and you saw it on his face, and you saw his mom just like, wow, like he got to look at Jessica and relate, especially the headphones. You know, she has like the noise canceling headphones. That's something that he dealt with. So it was really like a touching story. Like, wow, you know, you're represented too. So yeah, it was fun. That was a nice
Aria, what is it like to be part of something that actually makes a difference? I mean, you guys all do projects all the time, all kind of stuff. Sometimes it's silly, it's so serious, but like this is actually means something to people.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very rare because art, you know, hopefully has the potential to affect people at any point, but especially for something like this that is very diverse and addresses, you know, many different audiences, but to have the effect that it has and to hear all these amazing feedback from people and to really like touch people on that level reminds me of why I do what I do, I guess. Yeah, because there are times, you know, of course, like there's doubt, but to know that our work positively impacts other people, makes them feel a certain way, is moving. It's very,
I'm gonna ask the ladies, 3 ladies. I mean, you're showing people that yes, women can work together, can't they?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's
we got along so well, all 3 of us.
Let's all got along so well, yeah. Was it an instant kind of like when you guys met? It was like, yes, you're my sister, you're my sister. Was it kind of like, did it feel like that? Any of you guys want to take that?
Well, I know in casting, I already knew who I wanted. When I saw them come into the auditioning room, I knew I wanted to work with them.
Really?
Right away. Because they're just like, they just brought so much to the table, and when you see someone just go that hard in their character, it motivates you. So from then on, like when we started rehearsing and being on set together, like we just clicked. Like it's sad, like that people think that that's rare in, you know, Hollywood, that girls are just, if there's a lot of girls, just naturally just going to be catty, you know, but none of us experienced that at all on the set, you know. We're all there for each other. So.
Helena, what do you say to that?
Yeah, agreed. It was just like a natural bond. I think the first time we all got together was when we had a stunt rehearsal, and time I met Aria and got to work with Jasmine again, and naturally, like, we just connected. Like, Aria was asking me, I think, a bunch of like astrology questions, and I'm all like, oh, you're a Taurus, cool. I'm a Gemini. I was like, this girl's cool. Like,
we had your tarot cards or the cards on set.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but we were like going through.
I had no idea. I didn't know that.
That's so funny, Aria. I love that. Oh, Billy said the same thing. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I walked into the dressing room and she was like, "Hi, what's your sign?" And just like,
I love it.
which Gemini as well. What?
That's like Gemini. Taurus. That's my girl.
Can I mention a quick backstory about what happened in the auditions?
Please.
Just real quick. When in season 1, Aria, she went out for Sarah Stanton Nickel.
Oh.
And then, but it's just like, and she ended up taking the Kendra role. And it's just like, it's just so crazy how the universe works and how chemistry works. And it just feels like, you know, since we've come together, it's just, we just added like nitroglycerin to this thing we have. And it's just, I told you, I wanted Chronicles season 2 to be on steroids. And that's exactly what all of these actors and actresses have given me. And I'm just so grateful. And it's just so crazy how certain things work and how the universe works in that manner. So.
Well, I have to ask a question then. So, Jasmine, when you guys work, because I know you want producers, were you not going out for any roles for the show? If she was going for that role, what was going on?
When I auditioned for Sarah, I wasn't a producer on the show. I didn't even know Brandon and Zane at that point.
Oh.
I didn't become a producer until the second season.
Okay. So. But I mean, so she went for that role, but you gave her Kendra, and then you took Nickel. Okay, you got Nickel. Okay. Just make sure. I'm trying to figure out this. It's right now. I'm trying to picture her as Nickel. I'm like, interesting. I mean, you're the bomb, of course. I'm just like going, wow, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, she was amazing.
Kendra was in season 1, right? Like, I don't even know if she was mentioned.
No, it was
No.
what's his name? Lockwood was the main villain in season
That's
1.
right. That's right.
And then Kendra took over everything in season 2.
Well, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
season 1 and 2 have two different looks. They do have two different looks, different
Yeah.
feels. They do. They're very, just like almost two separate, even though it's the same universe, but like they feel very different.
It's like season 2, the series like grew up. You know, like it's grown now. It's gritty. It's dark. Like it's more emotional now. It's better.
That's true.
We grew.
More star power. I agree.
Yeah, so Zane, so I mean, this was your brainchild, so it must be just a trip to have it. You went to completion, you completed this, season 2 of this series. These actors brought everything to life. Was it everything you needed it to be?
Absolutely. And the cast knows every time I talk about this show and stuff, it's like when I'm finished, I just start crying and everything because it's so much hard work. We put a lot into it and stuff, and just literally blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, during the I think it was, you guys had fight practice for like a month or so in August. I mean, it was hot and muggy, and they put their heart and soul in it. I'm just
Helena
so
wasn't even
grateful.
here for
Yeah.
the fight. She
that's
actually was,
right.
I think, in Canada, and she had to
That's
learn
right.
it through
That's
like
right.
videos and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
tell me that story.
everybody was so dedicated.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I'm just so grateful for all of you guys, and just you guys put up a show that we could watch on Amazon or Apple TV, and my kids can look at this and be like, wow, Daddy, you did this, and now my son, like I said, he's filming, and we have other mothers who people I've met who have autistic children who are very grateful for the show, and man, and so shout out to every one of you guys. Thank you so much, and
Shout out to you.
so happy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to now embarrass you and ask each person something about you. Okay, Aria. Let's start with Aria.
I'm always like
What-
the first
no,
one.
Arya's the guinea pig, huh? Oh,
I'm
man.
like, you're on my show. That's what we're going to do. So, Aria, I want you to actually name one funny thing about Zane that you realized as you were filming.
One funny thing about Zane.
Yeah, any funny moment or thing you think.
Oh, I have one.
Or were you like really busy taking care of your role? You're like, I'm busy taking care of your role.
Yeah, I can't think of any, but maybe Jasmine can
Yes, you have something?
speak first.
Zane, you're my brother, and I absolutely love you.
Uh-oh.
But there's on one of his sets, there's like a bar set that was in the back, and he kind of snuck off by himself because he wanted to get the perfect selfie. So he was like off, and I just happened to like walk in on him, and we just had like a moment. And I was like, "Dude, do you? It's all right."
That was so funny.
He was like, I was like, I get it. We all need, the shameless selfie.
It's so funny. I'm going to ask Billy, what is actually one thing that makes Zane a good director?
Oh, one thing? It's just thinking back to when we were filming, other than the basics, which is he's very organized, he's got a vision, he knows what he's working on, which I love. There is most importantly, I think, a dedication to knowing his actors and knowing his crew, which is really nice. Like Zane feels, when I was on set and it was like, if there's anyone I didn't know, Zane was like the focal point. Everybody knew him, he knew everybody. And because I don't have any fight scenes. I got like I don't know what you guys were doing. But it just, when I come in and I'm there on like day 4 and everyone's been going and going, I immediately felt like I'd been there the whole time. And then while shooting, I felt extremely comfortable just to really give Dennis a little bit of a life of his own, which was encouraged. And honestly, I had fun on set. I haven't told you the same, but I had fun on set. When I saw it, I was blown away with what you let me do and then how it was edited together. Like I was just shocked, and I'm so grateful for it.
Thank you.
We're not going to ask Aria this different question. What is one thing about the role that you really love playing that Zane created for you?
I feel like I'm being repetitive, but it definitely is the fact that she has a very aggressive and energized facade, but at the core is this very vulnerable and damaged and hurt person, human. So to be able to try to balance that was probably a challenge, but also, the best opportunity to get. And I will speak to also what you asked, Billy, because that I can instantaneously answer that question.
Yes.
Which is Zane was so collaborative and open and easy to work with, because if I ever had any questions about the character or input, he was all ears, and more often than not, I mean, probably all the time, like super flexible and able to accommodate like whatever changes need to be made, or if any, just to take it all in and massage it into what was already there and make sure the story is still intact, but then give me the opportunity to play with other things that I might be able to add to it. And that was a blessing, because that doesn't always happen. So.
Yeah. I think Aria wasn't feeling well at the time, and she's a trooper. She fought through it and worked through it and made one of the best scenes in Chronicles with at the bar with when she met with Jessica. And oh man, I'll tell Brandon all the time, man, I love this scene. I mean, she just nailed it, killed that scene.
So you weren't feeling well?
Yeah, I had a tooth infection, but it was so, those are like so deep that it gets in your nerves, and
yes,
it's pretty bad. But being the family that we were, like Jasmine brought me, like it was a dental.
Oh, the Orgel or something.
Yeah. And they were
sweet.
so accommodating with, just taking the time that I needed. But I remember just being in so much pain in that scene, and it was actually kind of very apropos, and it fed right into what was going on in that scene. So it only worked to heighten it, which was great.
I was going to ask you, so you probably use that as fuel.
Yeah.
Right.
I was sitting there just like, trying to get my lines out.
Yeah.
I had tooth pain. That's not good. But women have a higher tolerance to pain than men do. I'm a big baby, so I guarantee you women. You guys are much stronger than we are. Helena-Alexis, what are some things that Zane gave back to you while you're performing your role at Jessica Wu during filming?
Well, the fact that he has an autistic daughter and I'm trying to place someone on the autism spectrum, and I did all this research, just the feedback from him and Brandon, just like saying, like really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like encouraging me, like, yes, that's great, or wow, that was amazing. Like words of encouragement that make me feel like, okay, like I'm doing this character justice. Like all the research I did was great, and I'm really like bringing life to Jessica Wu, this vision that he has for her. So that's all I needed, was just like, yes, keep going, and like giving me the freedom to just do my thing as well.
Because I know that she did research. We talked before on the show before. So Zane, for you, I mean, I know that was probably very important to make sure you get an actress who kind of gets it. So you get right, because that's the big crux of the whole story, is that she's also
Yeah, because we certainly didn't want to offend anyone, but I tell you what, like I said, and I'll tell the story many times, when she came into the audition, I mean, me, Jazz, and we were speechless.
Blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away. We said it before, but I had to flip her headshot over so I could like block her out of my mind, so I could focus on other people. But she just had it. Her energy was amazing, and she did like crazy like research of the series and about autism and stuff. So she came with her A game. She's like, she was perfect.
Yeah. No,
as you see.
You were perfect. Good choice, you guys. You're very perfect. Brandon Larkins, my friend.
Hey, buddy.
My buddy. So tell me something. Tell me something about Zane. I mean, this is your producing partner, your brother in arms. Tell me something. Tell me something good.
I'll put it out there. Zane had to make a very difficult decision.
Sorry.
Hey,
mad at everybody in the world. I'm sorry.
Never work with children or dogs. Just kidding.
She was sleeping. I don't know what she heard. I'm sorry.
I'll play that big mouth. Go ahead, Brandon.
I was going to say, one thing I admire about him, he had to make a very, very difficult decision from transitioning from season 1 to season 2. It's no secret. Season 1 looks way different than season 2. Just casting alone. And I admire that man for wanting the best for his series and making the decision to do a recast. And that's not easy. Because no one wants to be a jerk off, of course, to anyone. But if you're looking at the overall quality product of the best Chronicles of Jessica Wu season 2 series that you can make, he had to make the decision. And we spoke about it. He went on and he did it. And when he did it, J-Lott, the love and the submissions that poured in for Jessica Wu was just, I don't know, 3,500. I don't know what it was. What was 3,000? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 3,000.
That he made an executive decision. I admire that because there are some individuals who don't want to step on any toes, who are walking on eggshells, who will actually maybe not make that decision, and it could affect the overall quality of the series. Look at the decision that he made now, and look at the result that we have now. You know, the media, the press interviews, the viewership going up in London, the female genre saying, I want to be a part of something like this. Our stunt choreographer, Mike Pfaff, putting in his heart and soul to us, working with us. Thank you to Mike Pfaff. So that's something that I just really admired. It wasn't an easy decision. And we think about a lot of recasts and things that go on in this business. None of them are easy decisions because, you know, a certain audience could get comfortable with a certain character.
Right.
You know, we see it in soaps, we see it in primetime TV, we see it in feature films. So that's just something I really admired about him. You know, he stuck to his guns and he said he was going to do it, and he did it.
He did. I mean, I know we haven't really talked about it, but yeah, I don't want to be too shady or anything. You know, I like being shady. Let me sip my iced tea. But, yeah, thank you, Billy. Exactly. But I mean, you didn't do a whole new series. You didn't decide, well, I have to scrap that because that was a different actress. That was season 1. Now I'm just trying something different. You said I'm gonna go back to this series and do a season 2. That's actually that's ballsy. I think that really it really is. You're like, sorry, that person's not here anymore. We're doing this now. We're getting somebody new. That's ballsy.
And we still pulled things from season 1. Like, for example, there was a scene with Stax and Nickel. They were in the bedroom and Stax had a gun on her, and she brought up Greenie Marino, who you know, and some other things that transpired in season 1. Oh, I know, it was the Dr. Whittington.
Yes.
And so I was just like, look, this is a great story. I'm not going to change it. We're just going to move on and just make it better. That's it. Just an upgrade. That's all.
Yeah,
and you made the right decision because last year around this time we were figuring out the whole Emmy process.
Yeah.
Clearly you made the right decisions.
and you guys, I know some of you guys did submit, correct? You guys were, you know, for consideration. And we saw, and didn't Helena-Alexis get like close or something happened?
Both?
And Jasmine?
Yeah, Jazz and Helena were both considered on the Emmy nominee ballot. Yeah. And that was awesome. I was like a kid in the candy store telling people that. like really, like screw Stax Luger. Ain't nobody care about him. Let's talk about these girls right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And the passion, and people are like, oh my gosh, really? That is awesome. And it's uplifting to a lot of people. It really is. It's very inspiring. It really is.
Yeah, I went to a party for I was part of the Emmy
campaign.
And people came to me. They were like, "What? Like Chronicles? Like you guys are killing it!" And oh man, I'm just so proud of these girls and just the whole cast, everybody. And shout out to Pete, Mike Pfaff, Ro Brooks, Dakia Anderson, Sonica. Yeah. Love you guys. I wish all of you guys could have been on this thing. Man,
I love all of them.
Well, I tell you, I don't know if I told any of you guys this. I don't know if I told Brandon or anybody this. So, you know, I won an award last year, which was really crazy. And for my show Breaking Into, which some of you guys were on, and I submitted 3 episodes. And one was Todd Bridges. That was an episode with him. He gave a good interview. He spilled all the tea about Hollywood. In Hollywood 70s and 80s. I submitted an episode where I was crying. Some episode I was crying, which is a Canadian episode. But I submitted the episode with you guys. I don't think I've ever told you that, Brandon.
Get out of here.
No, you
Wow.
didn't.
Never knew that, bro.
So I submitted 3 episodes, and because I wanted to show them my diversity and like that I could do group interviews, but also because I believe in the show. So I was like, I wanted to show that it's a different kind of show also, and that I feature different kinds of shows. So when I talked to the creator of the Capital City Web Awards, which is what I won for Best News Entertainment Series, he told, I know, it was my famous speech that went viral last year. He told me, I interviewed him on my show like a week ago. And he told me, he goes, James, I want to tell you, I wasn't on the committee because I'm the president of this thing, but I saw and heard people said about your show. And they mentioned the show I did with you guys and the show I did with Todd Bridges, saying that you just seem so interested. It's like you were like an interviewer who took your time to be really interested. And they said, and it really touched people's stuff. They said, and your guests liked you at the same time. So it's like they saw that. They said they don't see that in many people's shows, I guess. And I was like, yeah, I love that.
You're really warm. You're really, really warm, like from like the very beginning. Like when I first met you, you were like, you must be here like for my interview. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. Like, all right, hugs, let's go. And it was just like, you're just radiant. So
Thank you.
It makes sense that you would win that award. So congratulations.
Thank you. Brandon, don't say anything, Brandon. I already know. I know what you're gonna say.
I tell you all the time, embrace your celebrity, J. Lott Jr.
You are a celebrity.
No, and honestly, man, we appreciate you, but just not us though. And it's just not to name drop, but just for the simple fact that you have executives, James, from major studios and networks wanting you to interview their talent, and you pour your heart and soul into them the same way you pour your heart and soul into us. And we're just very appreciative of that though. You don't see that a lot though. So like, I feel it's an honor. It's an honor to be interviewed by you and to work with you. So thank you.
Thank you. I think anybody who does this business, thank you guys. Anybody who does this business in this business, I know you guys all work hard. I know this business is not for the faint at heart. It isn't. It is set up to make you not want to make it. They throw obstacles your direction. They tell you half the time no, or most of the time no, or you're not good for this, or you're not good for this. And we have to kind of climb over that. And so I admire anyone who's in this business as a creative, because I know you guys really care about what you're doing and you really want to do it. So I want to support that if I can, in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you.
I do. Well, you guys, that's been an hour. We've done it. That's an hour of the show. We did it.
It always goes by so quickly.
I know, but guys, let's hang out for a while. Let's keep talking.
Right?
But everybody, thank you so much. And Chronicles of Jessica Wu is on Apple TV. It's on Amazon. You can go ahead. Season 2 is the bomb. Is the bomb. I don't know if they're still saying it. I'm saying it. It is there. Run, don't walk. Go watch the series. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm going to start with Aria first. Tell me where they can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, I'm mostly, well, actually, really hate social media, to be honest. It's the bane of my existence. But I am on Instagram, Aria X as in X-ray song. And then I have my website, www.ariaxsong.com.
Very nice. Billy.
Hello, I'm Billy McCartney. You can find me on Instagram at Billy McCartney, all one word. And I mean, if we're still in lockdown, you can watch me do digital, I almost said drag shows. I don't do drag.
Oh, God.
Well, I did. So the last one I did was an like comedy and drag queens. And I have a lot of drag queen friends. It's not important. But then I host stand-up all over LA. I do, I've got back when comedy clubs were open, but I have like a monthly show at the Ice House in Pasadena. And then I host all over.
So what's the thing you said is happening tonight? I think it's one thing tonight online.
Yeah, there is a show called Okay Zoomer, which is a Zoom comedy show that I'm just on it. I'm not hosting it, but I'll be a part of it. I'll tell jokes.
What time?
6:30 California time.
Very nice, very nice. Helena-Alexis.
It's Helena-Alexis on Instagram, Facebook, my website, everywhere, Twitter. All one word, no hyphen. Helena-Alexis.
Oh, just one word. Okay, one word, guys.
Yeah, one word.
Helena-Alexis.
Jasmine Hester.
All across the board, Jasmine Hester 23. That's my favorite number. But yeah, Jasmine Hester 23, all one word. Instagram, YouTube, everything.
That's easy.
They say it should make it easy. That's the whole thing. They say it should be simple. But just find you. They'll just find you. Brandon Larkins.
Hi, I am BrandonLarkins.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is all at BrandonLarkins.com. Thank you.
You're so, oh my God.
I know, it's like
Brandon, you get on my nerves. I love it.
There's nothing cool about me at all.
Next time with feeling. Okay. Zane. Zane.
Oh, sorry.
Wake
Iron
up,
Beard.
wake up. Where are you?
Yeah, Instagram, Iron Beard, and ironbeardfilms.com. Check out the website. Some really good content. And right now, again, I'm writing Equation, and hopefully you can get some good things going. A feature film. So let's do it.
Cool.
It'll be done. It's gonna be done. We're gonna come back out of this.
Oh, it's gonna be done.
Tons of content. It'll be bursting. It'll be bursting. That's what I'm looking forward to. That it's gonna all just start coming out
and more fight scenes.
Yes.
Write Billy a fight scene. Have Dennis have a fight scene.
I'm so for that, though. I'm so for that.
Exactly. Seriously, write him a fight scene. That's how you do that.
I'll take it. I won't trip many times.
And if you want to write a little walk-on piece of part, possibly
you have to be in it.
Of course.
One page.
Yeah.
Not too many. Maybe 2 pages. I'll be happy to do it.
And introduce James Lott as James Lott. We'll put a little 9 on your hand.
There you go.
I'm going to put it there before we go. Speaking of walk-on roles, did you guys know that the supervising producer of The Bold and the Beautiful is going to write a walk-on role for James Lott Jr., guys?
Wow.
He's like awesome. James, you get on my nerves too.
Like
you downplay everything and you're like epic.
Hey, we'd have to wait in an audition room with maybe like 300 other actors. He just gets his stuff just written on for him. No. Isn't that
Congratulations.
crazy? Right? Isn't that crazy?
Amazing.
Never mind.
I work hard. I
invite
swear, and I work hard. Crazy. I don't know, I guess.
You're so quiet about everything. I'm always finding something new about you.
I don't like to brag, that's why. I'm a doer. I'm in the trenches. I'm a worker bee. I just get in there and I just do it.
But you have another show too, right? That's on the 29th, right?
Yes, I'm doing a one-man show. JLJ live in North Inglewood. I mean, there is a North Inglewood, I guess. I made it up. North Inglewood. And I'll be doing my spoken word, music, and talking. So I'm putting it together right now. I actually have it together, but I'm finalizing it all. Yeah,
and
so
you're scoring a film too, right? You're scoring a film, right? You're scoring a film too right now.
I'm scoring a film right now. I'm scoring an indie film called Vex, made by some West Indians in New York.
Hey.
A lot of my Caribbean folks. It's another great film about redemption and revenge and what happens at the end. I saw it. It's a really great short film. And so they asked me to score it. So I've written 8 songs for it already. I've already been recording.
Awesome. Wow.
I'm weird that way. I'm kind of I feel very creative right now. Get into your 50s, folks. It's good. I'm just telling you, you guys have.
He's not really in his 50s. He's lying.
I'm 51. I swear it. I know black don't crack, but I swear I'm 51. I love it, but I feel very alive right now. So after the couple of years I've had that, I didn't feel alive. So I feel really good right now.
Good.
I'm a worker bee. I just go in there and do the work. That's what I do. So folks out there, Chronicles of Jessica Wu, of course, find it everywhere. And I'm James Lott Jr. You can find me where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold, at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms, everywhere. Just find me everywhere. This show is on my channel, JLJ Media. I have all kinds of shows coming up on that channel. A new soap opera. I have a show for left-handed people. I have all kinds of stuff going on. So go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, rate that whole channel. And this is on every streaming service you can think of, from iHeartRadio to Deezer to Spotify to Spreaker. It's everywhere under In Between Pages with James Lott Jr. and just JLJ Media. Go ahead and find us there. Pass this on. If someone you know has autism, any kids, adults, and want to turn on to this series, pass this on to them. Let them know what's going on. And any comments you give, I can pass them on to everybody here. And if you want to get in touch with them, I'll talk to them. We'll pass things on. But let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep it out there and keep the awareness out there and the positive portrayals out there. Let's keep that going. Everybody, thank you, everybody, and have a great, great day.
Thank you.